just sit back and wait for this thing to happen. I got lots of new material that I'd like to present. Linda from Florida, how are you? How's it going? How you doing, Maria? Good morning to you. Thank you very much. Can't get your name. Is it Nelson? How are you? How you doing, Cheryl? Yep. A Perks. Bye, TB. How are you? Hey, Devin. Bella Bella. Patrick and Frank. How are you? John. It's my... Yeah, yeah, I sleep when I can. I was up half the night again, but I don't take... I sleep, yeah. I mean, day and night is the same thing to me. How you doing, Phyllis from North Carolina? Yes. How you doing, Linda? It's all good. Mm-hmm. Love from Phoenix, Arizona. Much gratitude. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Vi. Is it Vi or Bay? I guess it must be Bay. Grand Rising. Yeah. Mission cleared. On to the next. Good for you. How's it going, Matt? Good morning from North Carolina. Devin. Yeah. Have been getting a lot of sleep. That's good. Seems like, I'm catching up on the energy, getting the energy in you. Good for you. We're going to need it. We're going to need it. Trust me, we're going to need it. This is just the beginning. Everything that's going on right now is just, all it is entertainment. It's just entertainment, not to wake us up, but to wake up the sleepers. And before I get started, this is for entertainment purposes only. And I recommend everybody go out there and do their own research. That's good. I can, yeah, I mean, I can feel it. There's a lot of stuff that's on this planet, a lot of stuff that's, off planet, that's throwing the energy around. Yep. Lots of stuff. Symbolic stuff is going to disappear. Yep, we've been playing. Actually, the good guys have been playing with quantum for quite a while. It just hasn't really been introduced to us. We've been playing in the Matrix. Yep. How's it going, Jack? And Mindy. Good day to you. Yes. Thank you, Lindy, or Mindy. Yep. And if I repeat your name, that's okay. I'm just going through the names as they're popping. Yep. Hey, Klaus. I don't want any more entertainment, I know. But it's trying to wake everybody up. And we're soon to be really awakened. How you doing, Sonia? How's it going, Randy? And Ginny, Cheryl, yeah. Well, when the solar flash comes, we're all going to get that solar flash is going to shed all our parasites and fungus and fungi and whatever else is on us. It's going to strip of all the negative off of us. Yeah. Won't need med beds. They're just there to, basically, the med beds are going to be there for repairing limbs and replacing organs and repairing organs that have been damaged throughout our terrible life. When is the solar flare? Based on what Ishmael is saying in Trader Girl, it's anywhere between now and 2020, beginning of 2028. Yep. How you doing, Sean, Lee, Trish, Terhaz, MM or MWC? So many new people. So many new pictures and so many new faces. It's great. The planet is ascending, yes, and we are too. That's why we're feeling a little bit crazy, lightheaded, earaches, stomach aches, diarrhea, all this other stuff, crazy stuff going on. There should be no reason for it other than the fact is that we're trying to, our bodies are getting rid of all the negative poisons out of there. Yeah, the med beds are, well, yes, the solar flash is going to be as well. This is all being orchestrated by the Pleiades, our galactics, and they will be restoring our DNA. Yep. Yes, teeth will start growing again. Everything on our body that grew once will grow again. Our hair will go back to the original. Right? Yeah, it's all been a big lie. Everything's been a big lie. It's terrible. Yeah. Every day that goes by for everybody is going to get better and better and better. And all we have to do is go with the flow, ride the wave. Yeah. And, I just want to say to everybody out there, and I know you guys are all with me on board with this, is that the more we stay in high vibration, the less that they can touch us. Stay in high spirit. Always think about good things. It's okay to, maybe stop and take a rest. As if you're traveling somewhere, take a couple of rests. Pull over the side of the road, smell the flowers. Maybe go pick a few wildflowers. Stick them in your car so you can look at them, and just nice stuff like that, right? And maybe buy somebody a coffee today or something. Just to be, yeah. That's what God's people do. There's a lot of people that do a lot more than that for other, just for humanity. Yeah. And we have to praise them, for their dedication. Yeah. Grand Rising from Ontario. Yeah. Do you think the ones that took the poke will be? No, they're not. They're not going to be unalived. They're going to be, when the solar flash comes, this is how it's going to kind of play out based on Trader Girl Q. She says that when the solar flash starts being activated, it's going to rebuild everybody's DNA. Now, some DNA on some people will take longer. So say if you've got a 300-pound or 400-pound guy that has stage 4 cancer, it's going to take a lot longer to repair him. Or if maybe a 250-pound guy, if he does survive the pokey, then he's going to, they're going to have to get rid of all the poisons that are in him. It might take him less time to shed all the negative out of him. And then, of course, a person that's maybe 150 pounds that has a flu or cold or whatever, they're going to be able to, rebuild their whole DNA right from scratch, and it'll be done in just a matter of hours. Okay? Yeah, the med beds are good, but by the time we get to them and how everything's happening, the solar flash might be coming at the same time. The med beds are there to, to take care and rebuild and maybe do mind wipe, clearing the mind of all trauma, and of course rebuild the DNA and stuff like that. They're there to as a tool, as a healer until the solar flash. But eventually we'll be able to heal ourselves just by thought. Yeah. Once we get our DNA back and all our telomeres back and our chromosomes back in our body, we're going to be like X-Men. And everybody's got a different bloodline. So you're going to have different qualities. Yeah, we all got different bloodlines. Yeah, I've been having bad earaches. Yes, I know. So right now, what you do, you can take a little bit of olive oil and do some hydrogen peroxide, and then put them in a bottle like this here. This is a milky bottle here. You can see the milk that's in it. Yeah, that's hydrogen peroxide and a little olive oil. And you can go down to the what do you call it, health food store, and pick these bottles up for a couple bucks, whatever. And then you just put your ear over there and put 5 drops, and then just let it sit, and you'll hear it cracking and popping in there, and that's cleaning. That'll disinfect your ear, and then just leave it there for about 5 minutes, and then take a just a light Q-tip in there just to clean it out a little bit, because when you put your head straight up, it'll drip out. So you just kind of clean it up a little bit and then do the other side. See if that helps. Because the hydrogen peroxide is really good for cleaning up all the bacteria and bullshit that's in your ear, and that's the part that's giving you the infection. And when you got the infection, that gives you the pain. How are you doing, Carol from Iowa? Good to see you. When we cash our ding-a-ling, yeah. Are we going to have taxes? No, I don't think there won't be any taxes. That when the EBS comes, as soon as it's activated, all banks and all your debt is disappears. Once the bank, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the bank. When I knew that this was all illegal, I cleared my name. I says, the debt's on you. But I had already cleaned up a lot of that stuff. I got out of the real estate game a long time ago. When I built my camper, I had gone through a couple of things, but I was just leasing for many years, and even when I was doing my business, because I didn't know what the government was always attacking me. Yeah, they made me go bankrupt twice. Yeah, and then I got it figured out. Yeah, I lost about $500,000 to them. Yeah. But I didn't, so I don't look at money maybe like the same as most people do. It's nice to have around, and I put stuff aside if I make money, whatever, but I don't, as long as I live a very simple life. Even in the Philippines, pretty simple. I don't go after big flashy stuff. I put things together and buy things necessary for the family. Yeah. Good morning from Minnesota. How are you? Yeah. How's it going, Freedom? Grand rising to you, dear. Yeah. How about type 1? That's all that's going to disappear. And what you do for type 2 or type 1 or whatever, you need to have cinnamon in your world every day. Lots of cinnamon. You put them in these jars here. I got another one. Leave these in overnight. Just let them go cold. Let them soak overnight. And then you can drink them the next day. And you can go down to the Dollarama or the dollar store, or the whatever, Salvation Army, and pick up these mason jars, with the lids and everything. Yep. And then you just keep drinking that. That's your juice, is the cinnamon juice. You can put cloves in it. You can put a little bit turmeric. You don't need much, just a pinch of everything. A little bit of pepper, a little pinch of this, a little pinch of that. Oregano is really good. Oregano is extremely good for parasites. Yeah. I got, yeah. I don't feel that I have, you know when you got parasites, and you know when you don't. And a lot of people, like I said, if you eat something just a little bit and your gut bloats, you got parasites. Right? Or if you eat something a little bit and then all of a sudden you feel sleepy, you got parasites. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, if you put cinnamon in your world and you go after the cinnamon sticks, or put cinnamon on your, on your toast with butter, pure butter, stay away from the margarine, stay away from anything that is processed, including meats. But you should be able to get rid of all diabetes just by having, putting a lot of cinnamon in your world. You drink it, you eat it, and that cinnamon will take the sugar out of your body and clear your pancreas. Thank you for the hearts and prayers. Yeah, appreciate it. How's it going, Mike? Mike Lee. Linda, how are you? Yeah, we don't need to play the game. Exactly. How you doing, Rebecca? We're just here for entertainment purposes only, to watch the show. Observe but don't absorb. Yep. Everything's been a lie. Everything. And you're going to see even the moon. There's going to be scare event. Who's to say, with this alien invasion? Maybe we're the aliens. Think about that. Maybe the aliens that came over from their own country that they were born in, maybe they're the alien invasion. Maybe they're the ones that have to, get picked up and told that they got a paycheck waiting back home for them. How you doing, Glennis from Northern Ireland? I'm doing very well, sister. Welcome, Newfoundland's in the house. Yes, Grand Rising from the Ozarks. Love the Ozarks. Great, very, very interesting people. I'll bet you they got stories and, mother's recipes of different types of foods that they eat. Yeah, I'd love to spend some time in there. How you doing, Notice? EBS will happen when everything is in the world becomes clean. Well, yes, but it's going to be, they're going to trigger this World War III scare event that will, I think, trigger the EBS. There's going to be, there's people out there saying that EBS could happen even on or before July 4th. I know it's only 10 days left, but I think that's, expect some crazy stuff to happen because, they're showing in this movie that President Putin is getting really, he's getting very perturbed about how things are going because, how Canada and these other G7 and NATO is supplying Ukraine with, drones and all these other things. Like, Russia is the United States. Russia, we are all Christians being invaded by aliens. Except Russia's got much more control of it. And the problem that's going on in Ukraine right now is they are denazifying Ukraine. And, that the head clown guy, whatever his name is, and I'm not going to mention, Mr. Z, Mr. Z. Anyways, he's, they are putting propaganda out there. A lot of propaganda, saying that, they're demonizing the Russians and all this other stuff. No, so you're going to, don't get fixated on the lies because there's just, everything is a lie. Warriors got so fed up with it that she's had to take some time off. And I understand totally. It's all lies and it gets very, it wears on people. Yeah. And I want to thank, the moderators out there. I know you're out there. And we're successful in, some of the moderators jumping aboard and helping me out screening everybody. Yes, Venezuela is, we have to put prayers out to Venezuelan people. They just got hammered. It was, I believe it was about 70 miles west of Caracas in another city. That was the epicenter. And buildings, we're talking towers, were toppled over on each other. So there could be, 10 tens of thousands of people missing. We are in a global, our beautiful Earth she's ascending, she's cracking, she's redeveloping herself, she's transforming right now, and we got to hang on. This is like bareback riding at the rodeo right now. Yep. How you doing, MWC? Been watching Citizen Vigilante, yeah. Yep. Well, there's a lot of things that are happening there too, right? Yeah. Now, I want to talk about some galactic stuff, entertainment purposes only. But based on the information I'm receiving is that there could be a scare event with a comet going to take out the planet and all this other stuff. That is basically a ship. It's a self-driving through telepathy or whatever is happening, kind of a kamikaze type planet. It looks like a ship. It looks like a comet, but they say it's going to hit Earth and it's going to, be full mass destruction. Some kind of a world distinction event. No, it's here to hit the moon and take it out of here. The moon is by all different definition keeps us in low vibration. Yeah, they have frequency coming off that moon because it's man-made from the Anunnaki. They're still trying to operate it like that there. That's why it changes colors and does all these stupid things, and it gets a lot of people in depression, and some people get on a log and start howling at it. It's just there's a lot of and the water, even the water that they have that frequency that comes down through there, and it's the water that's in the sea and the water that's in our bodies. It what do you call it? It manipulates all of it. So we got to get rid of that. That's not natural. We should not have a moon there. Okay? Yes. How you doing, G-Date? How's it going, Dino? Blue Light Sue, how are you? How you doing, Matt? And didn't catch that one. H202, yeah. I can't read that. Some comments, yep, thank you. Welcome from London. London, England is in the house. Welcome. How you doing? Netherlands in the house. Grand Rising. How you doing, Sean, for Quebec? Bonjour. That's nice. You have everything around you. Yes. Well, we are basically living in a open air prison. Everything is out there is built by the corporations, and we're living inside a open air prison. We're being taxed. Trump's getting really 47's getting really pissed off that gasoline should be at $2 a gallon, and he wants to do investigation on all these corporations. They're gonna get spanked pretty quick. I mean, where we are, it's like $1.70. So you do the math on that. It's well over $6 a gallon here in Canada. How you doing, Ari? How's it going, Tammy from Michigan? Yeah, I'm trying to keep up to it. Thank you very much. Keep your comments in capital letters. That'd be great. Why is 47 not signing the House bill? Because it's all lies and bullshit. There's a lot of stuff that's small print that they try to throw in there and he says, no, get this thing cleaned up. It's not anything that's going to help any of the Americans out there. I don't know why the show keeps going on the way there's all this stupid shit going on. I mean, we've got so many people that are woken up now. But what I say is just don't stop living your life. I know things are really, really tough, but money will be coming. Money's going to be coming, and good things are going to be coming. Prices should be coming down. Maybe because they're not bringing these prices down is exposing the corporations. And, there's, I would say, thousands and thousands of executive of these corporations being arrested every day. Yep. Hey, Leland. Afternoon. Yep, everything's fine. Thank you very much for asking. Sorry they did not do that to you. Yes, there's so many things out there that they have put in place to mess with you. Hospitals, for one, they're not your friend. Banks aren't your friend. Certainly politicians and the federal governments around the world are not your friend. No, they scheme up things to enslave you even more. And they think they can get away with it. We have to identify our enemy. And that's anybody that, is going against what, 47 and God is trying to do. We're trying to liberate the world. And in the meantime, he's exposing all the all the scumbags out there. Okay, I'm going through some stuff here. Yes, parasites, they thrive in depression. And when you're scared or in depression, that's where your parasites will thrive. They bounce around and they thrive inside you. So be happy, get out in the sun, think nice thoughts. We all have to start programming ourselves because we're going to have these powers that we're going to be able to possess. And if you're thinking negative thoughts, you're not going to be able to advance. Yeah, this is part of our training. This is training day for us. This is training day for us. Put your hand over the glass that you have and just say, please take all the negative away from me and out of me. And then cleanse me while I sleep. And then take it and throw that water out in the morning. Hey, Boilermaker. Mississippi, how are you, Esther? Yep. Morning from Chicago. Oregano is equivalent to any antibiotic, absolutely. Like you could make your own concoctions. You could make a list of all the herbs and spices that really help you for whatever negative you got in you. Everything will get cleaned up. And you have to understand that the more you clean up all your parasites in your body and your metals, is the faster you're going to be able to ascend on the other side. It's going to be a lot quicker. Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to fast if you can, even fast for 72 hours. Yes, that's a good point. Yes, it's not just the med will cure autism. It's even the solar flash is going to cure autism. because autism is another form of parasites. Yeah, not to mention maybe some of this here when babies when they were shooting babies up, at birth. Yeah, so all that's going to be cleaned up. Yes, wormwood is very good. hmm You can make just use your imagination. You be the doctor. You're going to be the doctor. Nobody knows your body better than you. Okay? How you doing, Holly? Yeah. Hey, Raging Cajun. My bank called me regarding a credit card that I hadn't requested. Why didn't I accept it? Just asking. Or why didn't I accept it? You don't need it. Well, I mean, if they're going to throw money at you, take it. It's all phony money anyways, They've been feeding us this phony money. It's absolutely worthless. I just got another, and like I said, when I do my taxes, like it says, I only declare what the government gives me in my pension, and God knows how much money they've taken off me over the years when I was working. But I did a late declaration. No help, it wasn't from me. It was because I had a lazy accountant, and we finally managed to get it out the last day. So she always does that. I'm getting very particular. Anyways, I got my check last night. But it's only paper money, and it's worthless. So what I would do if I've got a little bit extra here and there, I might go down and buy some foreign currency. And because that foreign currency, there will be a time and application that you can trade that off. It will be a lot better. I've been having Canadian dollars. All the dollars are going to crash, and it's going to be replaced by treasury notes. This is why we have not seen anything in Canada as far as any resemblance to a new bill. I think it's going to be American Treasury note. Canadians are going to get a huge slap kick in the ass. I can't wait for that to happen. Yes. Okay. Yes, Big Pharma has got big karma coming for everything that they have done. Everything and anybody now. I mean, I'm not going to say what they're going to be charged with because it's probably it's going out of my little safety zone here. But just say that Big Pharma's got big karma coming. Yeah. And like I said, the big comet that is going to appear. There's a lot of things that are out there. There's a lot of the galactics are out there are really helping the planet right now. Now there are a lot of disinformation happening out there right now. Please ignore that stuff. They're showing Pleiadians and all these other things with a couple of reptilian behind them. That's all disinformation. That's what all the lunatic lefts are trying to do. They're out of their mind. They know that they're losing, and they've got all they can do is try to influence humanity. They're trying to they got nothing left except lies. Cinnamon in your coffee is very good. Yes, I prefer to have just cinnamon for water and drink that through the day. But yeah, you can put cinnamon in your water or cinnamon in your tea. There's all different types of herbs. All those herbs, everything you got in your shelf from your different herbs that you use, it's all very, very good for you. Yeah. Now, like I said, the banks are ready to crash. That's why we're getting some strange stuff that's happening. They're trying to operate with a big, with a brave face on, on what they're trying to present, but they got no money. They're done. And silver, like it says, if you get a chance, maybe go out and buy more silver. But I think at this point right now, it might be easier just to go buy some foreign currency. How you doing, Soul? Yeah, it'll be easier just to go buy foreign currency. How you doing, Soul? Yeah. Have heard heavy metal detoxing. Yes, it's part of the autism. But usually a lot of the kids get autism because of because of the jabberoonie. Yep. At birth. Babies can't take that. They're so fragile at birth. I mean, that's what the reptiles are trying to do. They're trying to dumb us down and make us be good little slaves. Our weapon right now, our master, this is our this here is our weapon. Let's weaponize it. Weaponize it means know who your enemy is. Be aware of what your surroundings are, and just take it for granted that everybody's your enemy until they are proven wrong. I consider everybody my enemy until proven wrong. I mean, I have what do you call it, night crawlers back and forth, and they're on drugs, and I'm out there helping them all the time. I had to get loud with one yesterday because she was just losing her mind. She lost this, that, and the other thing, and then she'd come over and she's at my doorstep trying to blame me for that she lost her shit or whatever. And I says, and then she's screaming at me, find it for me, find it for me. It doesn't even make sense. So I had to get loud with her, and she turned around, she ran from that, she said, I'm sorry, and they sat over at the other end of the property. So I went back and did footstep, or you kind of retract her steps and whatever, and found everything she dropped on the way, put it in the bag and give it back to her. And I says, keep acting like this, I'm not going to allow you back on this property. You try to help these people, but what I would like to do is their drug bin or drug den, I'd like to have that shut down. But the cops won't do it. No. They're sitting downtown at the coffee shops. That's all they do. They sit there and have coffee and eat their burgers. That's what they do. They don't do anything. And then of course they're sitting between cars and whatever, watching for speeders. But they're not doing anything to shut down these labs. It's disgusting. How you doing? Welcome, Romania. Very nice to see you. Yes, I forgot to phone the Philippines this morning. Yeah, if you're listening, hello, family. Yeah, I got up late today. Yeah, afternoon. How you doing from South Ireland? Hope everything's going well. We're always praying for you. In South Africa, same thing. How you doing, Antoinette? Good to see you again. Hey, Green Acres. Yeah, I'll always loved that show when I was a kid. Yeah, that and Mr. Ed. And of course, I think my favorite one was The Rifleman. I always raced home to school to watch The Rifleman and Gunsmoke. Yep. That's the old days. How you doing, Sweaty Bob? Hey, Gigi. When is the EBS? Well, it's going to happen when it happens. And as you're going to see it as things get heated up. There's a lot of, military movement, so to speak. You're going to start seeing it. 47 is totally shut down the border, Mexican and Canadian border. The Canadian border, you're still allowed to go down and buy a little bit of whatever you want to buy, But, they're a little bit, I wouldn't say on edge. They're they're stepping up their security a little bit. Yeah. Only a handful of men knew when the EBS, yes, will be activated. Yes, the Amish are the smart ones. Yes, they are. They never give their children jabronis. Yes. Well, that's what I mean. They knew about this because they had elders, and they basically they ran a tighter ship. Yep, they didn't believe in the outside system, and that's been going on for generations. And they're the ones that are coming out on top. They're living very healthy. Yeah. Oh, you got a new treehouse in the Ozarks. That must be something. Very good. Morning to you. How you doing, Michelle, my sister? How's things going? My Gen Xers. Yes. The baby boomers that are awake get along with everybody. Yep. In every generation, we got sleepers and NPCs. Also, I must say and must add that when the solar flash comes, the NPCs and clones will disappear. They won't be able to deal with it. No. Is it worth you taking a mortgage out to court while the EBS is going soon? Well, that's really your call. If you want to take a mortgage out, go ahead. You're not going to have to pay for it. If there's money, if there's such thing as money out there that they will lend you, then yeah, go ahead. It'll be to your advantage. Because the banks are ready to crash. I mean, when they close the doors, everybody's not going to have to pay whatever debt you have with them. It's all been a lie. As I've been preaching this for 10 years now. First, I was saying stop paying your taxes, because I was proving it back in 2016, right? And then I was saying, the whole thing was a ripoff based on all the bad experience I was having with my mortgages, my 60+ mortgages that I had in Canada. And I just dropped them all out there. I was holding mortgages up till 2012. And then I just got rid of them. And then I realized all of it was predatory lending. But nobody back then was listening to me. Yes, Ukraine are defending themselves. There's a difference between the Ukrainian people and the NAZIs that claim to be or are masquerading as Ukrainian people. Okay? There's a big difference there. And it's all about the trafficking. They got a lot of pretty young women over there, right? Well, that's where, where do they get trafficked to? Down in the Middle East, right? Saudi Arabia, Qatar, with all the rich Arabs. That's where they go. It's time to face the music, isn't it? Right? There's guys over there that went over there. They were, they called themselves Canadian freedom fighters. I want to go fight the Russians. They had no idea. They had no idea what they were doing. And I tried to tell them, Russia is not your enemy. I says it was the NAZIs that were masquerading as Russians. And they all went to war with the Ukrainian people, and they're still dragging them out of their houses to this day. They're still dragging, innocent men and women out, throwing uniforms on them and sending them to the front lines. And the Russians know that. Putin has had enough of this bullshit. How you doing? Welcome, Northern Illinois. Grand rising to you. How you doing, Crazy Indian? Yes. How you doing, Catherine? Hey, Kim and Melissa. Hey, Charles and Beckley, Alexis. Yeah. Keep your, if you can keep your comments and questions in capital letters, it'd be a lot easier for me. Things are so expensive right now. That's where you're going to start seeing the crash coming. Okay, not if they want to, if they're doing anything, these corporations, they're not lowering the price because they know what the end game is. Costco's shutting down, Walmart's shutting down, big what do you call it? Loblaws is shutting down. All these small businesses will start up again. Okay. Yep. We are living in the Great Awakening right now. We are experiencing the Great Awakening right now. This is what's happening. And it's I think you're going to start seeing a lot of sleepers out there. Their response to everything is going on there because we're being tortured right now, and a lot of people out there are just waking up to all this. Do you think all disasters happening are natural? No. Well, I think it is. Our Earth is responding. Yes, prayers for Japan. Yes, they're getting hammered too. I lived in Japan for 11 years, and when they get earthquakes there, everything turns to quicksand, and that's why buildings fall. Yeah. How's it going, Clay? The natural disasters that are happening right now is our planet is ascending. It's like it's being like a transformer. Yep. How long I'll take in Poland? What will change for the people in Poland? Everything's going to change, just like in Canada, just like in the United States. But we got to liberate the United States first. How you doing, Sagittarius? Yes. How you doing, Barbara? And Christy? Hey, Jen. Do you believe one world leader? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be, kingdoms, beloved kingdoms all over. But I think there's going to be a lot of borders come down. And it's going to go back to what it was before all these borders were put up. There was no, back in the day. I don't know who JJ is. Yeah. Hey, Juliet. I don't know what are flock cameras. Please all, yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, yes, Yahshua is his name. Yeah. How you doing, Prepper? Yes, it's a board of peace. That's what it's all about. Thank you very much for, thank you, Dino. Yeah, sometimes I can't. I got so many things rolling around, I can't get the words out. You guys are helping me a lot. Any idea about the sequence of events? Well, things are going to heat up to what a point which will probably trigger the EBS, and then we're in it. The minute the EBS comes on, you have no debt, you have no taxes, nothing. It's all gone, disappear. And then, of course, there will be some people that are inside the, the mass martial law shutdown of the world. You will be approached, or maybe military might come to your door and knock on the door and say, follow us. We're going to go down there and get you set up with your newfound wealth in QFS. If not, it'll roll out afterwards. Excuse me. Yeah, they're moving money right now. This is why you're seeing all this distraction that's happening in the world. They're preparing all the money and everything right now. Yeah, well, I think that the Vietnamese dong is still available. There's other Indonesian rupiah. Most other ones, you'll be able to go to your bank. I mean, I buy mine through CIBC. I suppose I could go to the Royal and check to see if they have, but I'm not sure. But today I got some money that came in through my pension. I'll go down and pull it all out, except for and I'll take 2 or 3 days to do that. But I'll end up leaving maybe a couple $100 in there. And then, like it says, I can maybe go order some more money or whatever the case may be. I don't know. We'll see. I put myself in a position that I use some of my precious metal, that I left in the Philippines for my family, and I get my girl to sell some off, because that's they get a much higher price down there than we do in Canada. So, and that basically takes care of them. And then I live very, very simple life here in Canada. So, I'm able to reinvest in whatever I want, which would only be the only thing I would invest in as far as, get rid of your dollars and put it into foreign currency. I mean, if this doesn't happen, which I know it's going to happen, because all the different countries have already signed on to JSERA, so it has to happen. That's going to reevaluate everybody's money to the minimum 1-to-1, and you're going to have that foreign currency that you're going to be able to hand in. Okay, we'll have 30 days, 30, 60 days to do that. They want that money off the street in every country. Surveillance cameras on the street and roads all over America. Yes, there are. Well, they're watching all the, as long as you're staying within the law, I don't care. But that's all eventually going to go away. I think the military is operating that stuff right now, trying to, pinpoint and target all the bad guys. What do you think of that? After all the mess gone through Iran, will be crown of the Middle East? Well, you're going to have in those areas there, because of the different tribal, and this goes way back, Iran, Iraq. I mean, if they're, I believe they're going to have a kingdom there, and I think they're going to be a board of peace. That's why they're trying to get Iran to sign off on a lot of this stuff, because they've been the troublemakers throughout the whole Middle East. They don't like, they don't like Saudi Arabia. They don't like Iraq. They fought with Iraq back in the 80s. They were at war with them. Saddam Hussein didn't like them, the mullahs that were there. They're a bunch of criminals. Iran is run by NAZIs. Okay? And that's what 47 is trying to take out. 47 will exit. He will exit before this whole thing goes down, because that way the lunatic left they won't have anybody to blame. There is a TDS so bad, over the top crazy. It's worse than them howling at the moon. They see Orange Man and they lose their minds. There is some kind of I don't know. It's a mental illness, and they hate us. They hate MAGA. They hate everything that's going on there. And with Trump doing all these crazy things, is only it's triggering them. They're losing their minds. And with this thing that's in Iran, you have a lot of people coming out there saying, well, what has Iran ever done? Well, they're the ones that are behind everything. They're the ones that are behind, 80% of all the false flags and the attacks around the world. I mean, look at the thing in Vegas. Look at all this stuff is going on. They're all these DS gators are working together. They're just, in a different basic bloodline. And but the little state in the Middle East that's next to Jordan, I mean, that's all being taken over. The Jewish people are nice, but you got the I'm going to call them what they are, right? Now I don't want to say the names of these, but they all originated in eastern Ukraine, and they've been arch enemies of the Russian people since for more than 3,000 years. Yeah, and they're the ones that are they're the ones that come and take identity. They come into a family, they'll take the identity and then put imposters in there that maybe look similar, and they take over their bank accounts, everything. Come and take their ID. Take the mom and dad out, maybe even take some of the children out, and just assume their identity. That's who these KZs are, right? I'm going to call them KZs. Okay, and they're the ones that are all, masquerading as Jewish people, and that's all going to be taken out because they're behind. Those people there, the KZs, are responsible for attacks on the United States and Western society. They always have been. And they have a little bit of backup going with the unelected financial district of London. Pure evil. When London, financial district, they would use these other countries such as Iran or, the little state there as proxies. Or, the little state would be using Iran as a Middle Eastern. That's why, Obama, did what he did by supplying them billions, absolute crates and crates and crates of money, pallets of money. He was supplying them. And, 47 has to unravel all of this. How you doing, Maria? Iran will never be crown of the Middle East. No, Iran will never. No. The Iranian people are having to deal with this for 47 years. Not one president ever tried to stop them. Not one president except for 47. And that 47's ready to get on his big plane. That was that has all been prepared, and it's as well as the fortress that they have designed at the White House, that there will be special white hats controlling that, up to 4,000 personnel. Special operators will be down there. Yes, 39 Celsius in Germany today. Yeah. Wow. That's hot. That is hot. Get the ice working in your ice machines. What about CERN? It's shut down. There are other portals that are happening. Some are good, some are bad, but they're being security's very heavy on them, and that could be what's happening in Iran right now. Mexico, I think a lot of this stuff is what's happening right now. It's kind of like to scare you. Don't get involved in the drama. This is all under control. They got, they're saying that, well, the communist Chinese are, they're planting bases up along the Mexican border, and of course the Canadian border. They're ready to invade the United States or whatever. I just, until I see it, or until I see shots fired, I don't believe a bloody thing that's out there on propaganda. It's absolute propaganda bullshit. I'm just, I scroll through it. I just say lie, 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 lie. Okay, that works. That one works. That one works. Okay, lie, lie, lie. That's how bad it is. They're running probably 80% lies on most of these apps right now, because they're trying to. There is a war on for your mind. That's all they got. They got a war on for your mind. They want you to either be scared or be manipulated to think Orange Man bad, right? And it's only the weak-minded, simple-minded dum-dums that are out there that are following through with this, and they're willing to throw their children into the fire to prove their point. I mean, absolute psychos. How you doing, Billy? Yeah, I won't be going anywhere with no one, to be honest, exactly. Just stay tight. Enjoy your backyard. If you got a backyard, I know it's very, very difficult when you're in the city and, you live in an apartment in the city. It's difficult, right? Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. I've made my choice. I do not live in cities, except for in the Philippines. That's a whole different environment there. There will be few kings and queens. Yes, there will, exactly. The Intergalactica and the Terra Earth kings and queens. There will be peace councils, I believe, and the Board of Peace. That's happening. Politicians are going to disappear. The moon's going to disappear. The Statue of Liberty is going to disappear. Dams are going to disappear. Many things is going to reappear that were hidden from you, such as technologies, and very, very interesting phenomenons that will appear. There's a major, major transition going on right now. It's exciting. Just keep yourself safe. Yes, soon, like I said, all the clones, NPCs will be deactivated based on the ascension of this planet, and of course the solar flash. If you receive a military retirement, will that still continue? Yes. Everybody's going to be compensated for whatever you've had to go through. Especially the military or vets are going to be priority. Our children that have been traumatized, been medically harmed and traumatized, are also priority. Templeton Collectibles is a good place to buy currency. Thank you very much. Yes, well, yeah, all the good, and I'm not going to say the country. It's a little state there. That was all put together by the Rothschilds to control the upper Middle East of, and it was just to cause chaos and havoc. It's create wars. They funneled proxy money through there, stolen tax money through there, and to finance wars. They did everything to create total, hell on earth. How's it going, High Maintenance? Thank you for the roses. How you doing, Maria? Yep. Yes. VND, the Vietnamese dong, is 26,000 American dollars to one, or 26,000 Vietnamese dong to $1. Yeah. And that is going to disappear very soon. I mean, if you go to Vietnam, you'll see how beautiful that country is. Absolutely beautiful. And the people are beautiful there too. I am very surprised at how they have forgiven everything that was done to them. And of course, it has taken a couple of generations. But, yeah, I lived through all that. 1975 is very, very clear in my head. I was 20 years old. I seen it all. Yeah, and I've been back there a couple, 3 times. Yeah, they were under. You did notice some communist operations and stuff like that, but they're in there cleaning up their corruption too. But they're a lot less corrupt than what's going on in in the Western society. Yeah. Oops. How's it going, Olive? Yep. How you doing, Lila? Amber and Kamal. Kemal? Yeah. How you doing, Ashley? Ashia? Ovi? Yep. Many people from around the world. It's great to see you. Welcome. How you doing, Charlene? Hey, Frank Papa. And Sheila. Yes, we have a huge light-minded community. Hey, how you doing? Beaver says hello. Hey, Tony. And David. Flynn Bob. And Thomas. Yeah, how you doing, Willow? Hey, how you doing, Charlene? Yep, Ashley. And Michelle. Michael. Yeah. So many names popping up. How you doing, Terry and Billy? Yep. Containers seem to be moving in the rails. Yeah. Well, you're going to see. Yes, the trains are going to shut down too, because they're trying to move a lot of stuff. The unelected banksters are trying to do moving a lot of their contraband through the train. The rail system. That's all going to get shut down. How you doing, Mojo? Grand Rising. How are you? Yeah. Can you explain how you supposed to disappear? I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. What are you trying to say, Marco? Can you hang on? Can you explain how you supposed to disappear? I don't. Please elaborate on that, and I'll try to explain it to you. There's a lot of things that are going to disappear. I'm not saying the light-minded people are. You're awake. You're here now. You're listening, and hopefully you're assimilating with, getting along with the things that we're saying and understand that. It's the ones that are not human, okay, or the ones that live in a very dark world. Those are the ones that are going to disappear. The ones that are that are going against humanity, the demons. They're the ones that are going to disappear. Thank you, Mojo. The best thing now is to start your own garden. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, this is a springtime right now. Get some seeds in the ground. Right? Throw some water on them. Start growing things. I got friends outside of town. The lettuce is flying right now. They got onions doing very well. Yep. And, I got 2 or 3 gardens around our town right now. Friends of mine that are working their gardens right now. Yep. I'm going to stay in these Kootenays until late August, maybe. Yep. How are they going to get rid of the moon? Okay, Casey, let me explain. There is what they call a comet out there. I think there's going to be some scare event. And according to Trader Girl Q, this thing is going to get, it's kind of like a self-control. What do you call that? It's controlled, okay? It's all self-controlled. They do it by however they're doing it. Remote control, okay? And they're gonna drive it right into the moon. I guess they're gonna drive it out of here because it's in our orbit. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just telling you what. I'm just a messenger. I couldn't believe it yesterday either. But apparently the moon is. There's a lot of stuff going on, or not on it, or in it. There's a lot of bad stuff going in it, and they're doing a lot of. There's a lot of frequency. They have what do you call those frequency machines that are throwing negative down to the earth because it's all being It's all the water's being manipulated, right? That's why we have our galactics are in the ocean, because water has a memory. A lot of crazy stuff going on. And I guess we're all going to be able to figure this out sooner or later. All evil will disappear. Okay, it's going to be destroyed. Let me just clear something up here. From what I'm understanding, Melania, our first beautiful first lady, was actually rescued from the Epstein fiasco that was going on there as a child, or as a younger woman, and 47 rescued her because there's a bloodline going along in there. Now, speaking of bloodlines, from what I heard, that Trump and Diana are the same bloodline. I'm just telling you, right? So throw that on the shelf. Q says Trump's going to exit out of here, and he's going to get in his big plane that is heavily fortified, and the proper personnel will go into the White House, go down 5 or 6 stories, and that'll be their war room command center. And there's going to be, that's when the shit's going to hit the fan, and that's going to trigger everything. So, you know, I don't know where I'll be, either here or in the Philippines. If I make it there, they might shut down the planes before I leave. Oh, I want to talk about the Terminator now. There is such a thing as Skynet, and that's what they're bringing down. They're bringing down Skynet. And there are not just clones, but there's machines out there that look just like human. They're giving you a soft exposure with all these robots being made, and the dogs and all this other stuff. That's kind of a soft disclosure. There's a lot of movies that are going to be coming out this year that's going to give you lots of entertainment, but some of it will be revealing a lot of stuff. But in order to answer your question, that's how they're, as far as I know, that's how they're going to get rid of the moon. They're going to have another big man-made, as what they call it, a comet. It looked like it'll be a scare event that's going to hit Earth, but it's going to connect with the moon and drive it out of our orbit. And then they'll get it far enough away, and then they'll light it up. They'll destroy it, because it's never been part of our ecosystem. Yeah. The moon is never, no, the moon was man-made through apparently the Anunnaki. How you doing, big patron? Thank you, Joan. Yep, Joan's one of our monitors. Supposedly, Health Canada wants to regulate natural remedies like vitamins and minerals. Well, that's like allowing the fox in the fox house, because Health Canada is the ones that destroyed all the ostriches and all these other things. As far as I'm concerned, if you see a Health Canada vehicle, it's sugar time. They're evil. I don't trust them. You can go get your own remedies by just going down to the grocery store and buying any of the herbal herbs that you want. There is a cure for everything out there that God has produced. You do not need Health Canada to do. I do not trust them. I do not trust banks. I do not trust hospitals. Excuse me. I don't trust stores, grocery stores. I don't trust gas stations, anything. They're absolute lying and manipulating about everything right now. You got to watch and keep your head on a swivel all the time until we get through all this. How you doing, Sean Fitzpatrick? I guess that's it. Everything happens twice. Yeah, I know everybody's sick of it. Hey, Justin. Welcome, St. John, New Brunswick. How's it going, Greg and Matt? Yeah. Can you explain how the moon is supposed to disappear? I just did. There's a comet or comets out there that have made has been man-made or galactically made. There's a lot of galactic brothers and sisters out there helping us ascend. We're transforming. They need humanity with all our powers back to help protect the universe, because there's a lot of negative out there in the universe that needs to be cleaned up. Our little children that are coming up, the ones that know everything, that are old souls that talk about stuff that's going on, they're trying to explain things to you. Okay, and they are the little Jedis. We are the older Yodas. But we have our weapon is to wake up. That's our weapon. Once we wake up to see what everything's going on here, how everything's going to be played out, then the negative jig is up. How you doing, Aisha? How come the only one talking about this stuff is on social media? Because the Mockingbird Media and all the three-letter agencies or whatever are all being controlled by stolen money, by leftists, unelected banksters. It's all being funded. So that's why I said, if you stop paying your taxes, you stop funding them. Stop putting your money in the bank. Okay, because all you're doing is feeding the monster. Take your money out, okay? Start sucking as much money off the system as you can to break them as fast as you can. Burn the credit cards. I mean, when you get a credit card, it's illegal. You don't trust those credit cards because they're trying to, so you burn them. Go out there, whatever. You do whatever you want with them. When you're finished with them, cut them up and throw them out there and change your number. We're at war right now. This is war. Okay? Yes, there will be peace councils. Trump's going to be in the air. Okay? He's going to be gone. He's going to disappear, because that way the lunatic left will have nobody to blame when their matrix starts being dismantled. It's their matrix. It's not ours. We are the awakened, chosen ones by God. What we assimilate to is is beautiful things. We don't assimilate to any of this matrix taxes and mortgages and car payments and all this bullshit. It's all there to keep you enslaved. Yes, how you doing, Stuart? Good to see you. Yeah, welcome back. Hey, Justin. Ashtar said that Mars is already liberated. Good. That's good. Yes, the Galactics are doing a lot of fighting off planet. They're getting rid of the reptilian. There's some good reptilian out there. They want to work with humanity, but the majority of them are all basic, very, very bad, negative. And the disclosure on this movie that Spielberg, the little reptile guy that put out there, I mean, he's got Spielberg written all over it, but just the way he does things. But they only put one species out there. Why didn't they put 4 or 5 species out there? They're just dicking around, as far as I'm concerned. They're just dicking around. I mean, let's show all the species out there. There's thousands of different species out there in this world, in this universe. How you doing, Justin? Yeah, I'm just a messenger trying to get the information out there to bring the awareness to everybody. You do what you want with it, right? The breakdown of Canada cannot come fast enough. I know. Canada's going to get a serious ass kicking. And that's the government. All we have to do is sit back and watch it happen, and stop bowing over to the system. I know you got to pay for. Like I said, you fight back, right? I got 2 trucks and a car. I don't drive the 2 trucks. I drive the little car. It's a little 6-cylinder car. So I'm not, my footprint is what it is, and I do not buy in the big box stores. I try to get all my eggs from the farm and stuff like that. I go to the little meat shops. Yeah. Canada's going to a lot of people in Canada are hurt, especially the people, especially the poor people in the cities. They're having to go to work. They're smoking cigarettes, and they're drinking, and bullshit still continues. They're all wrapped up in the matrix. They're feeding the monster. We have to walk away from all that shit. How you doing, Marco? Yep. How you doing, Pam? Good to see you. Hope Creston's nice and sunny. I know. We don't know what we cannot say. I'm not going to speculate of what the moon has on it or in it, but there's lots of activity, and it's not a natural ball of dirt or dust or whatever it is, sand. It's all been manufactured. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of simulation going on right now, and there's a lot of unexplained phenomenons that are happening, especially with all these earthquakes. I wouldn't want to be living in an apartment right now. I'd be, getting my, what do you call it? Get out bag. Yeah. It's all here now. Yeah. You bet, Billie Jean. It's we're in it. We're kicking the door down right now. How you doing, Kevin from Utah? Excuse me. Yep. I'm the only one that's come across that is talking about this stuff. Everyone else is talking war. Well, let them do what they want to do. That's all part of the awareness and the awakening. They're building everything up to the scare event. Okay. But I'm trying to see through all that. I'm trying to keep everybody's focus and trying to keep the vibration high here. There's a lot of good people out there keeping the vibration high. But it's all about disclosure right now. And, they're the white hats that got control of this. That's happening right now. And they're all these things that have been, the people out there with TDS, they know that maybe they don't know, but it's all coming to an end for them. They are so brainwashed. So many people out there so brainwashed. They do not have a capability of an open mind to see through all the bullshit. How you doing, Sean? Yes, JFK is alive and well. Okay, it could be. We're all speculating right now. We're not going to play into this. I thought Diana was the mother of Barron. Listen, Barron is being prepped right now. He's a bloodline, okay? And he will be the prince and eventually king of the Western Empire or the Western Kingdom. Yes. He's being... and the girl that he's with or whatever, that's all been... that's all bloodline being put together. Okay, so, yes, and you think that 47's smart. You see Barron he's 47's prodigy. I can't, I mean, he's going to have, yeah, and he's going to be working with JFK Jr., and of course, they have children as well. Completely out of the picture. But that bloodline, the God's bloodline, is very strong. We're finally got in control of things. How you doing, Dana Lynn? Yep. Thank you, Joan. Blocked Alex West, Big Daddy. Thank you. Yep. Keep blocking them. Doing a fine job. Are they going to take down 5G? Yes, they are. Yep. Those towers are going to be communication and healing towers as well. We're going to have necklaces and crystals, whatever, around us that will enhance our powers. Our DNA powers are going to start advancing. Yeah, I mean, who knows where this is going to go. We are, if you look at the shows such as X-Men, let your imagination run wild. Watch, Wolverine and all these other ones. They are all soft disclosures. How are they going to announce Trump's departure to the public? Maybe him getting on the plane and flipping the green switch for the EBS. I don't know. Maybe it might be when he goes walking into Fort Knox. We just have to be in the audience and watch how this is going to play out. This is a military-controlled operation, and it's only going to be the military that will see our way to the other side. Yeah, everybody has a special God-given talents that is going to be when you get your DNA and all your generational abilities back. It's all going to come back to us. We're going to have powers like you've never seen before. There will never be any such thing as hospitals anymore. That's why they're disappearing. Yeah, exactly. Terminator and The Matrix were not movies. They were documentaries. They were letting you know who they were. We have Terminators on this planet that are made up to look like humans, but they are Terminators. Yeah, and they're being taken down by our super soldiers. We have super soldiers that are 8.5 feet high. They are basic. You're not going to see them. But they are that big. They all been, they've been groomed, genetically modified. Yep. And we have, take a look at some of the women out there that are playing, some of these sports and everything like that. It's nothing to see, going into some northern Canadian town and looking at 8.5 foot Indians that are out there. They're all there as protectors. The Kandahar giants, the same thing. Those warlords down there. Whoever's the biggest and toughest is the warlord. That's how it works. But they've taken that genetically, those genetics from those people and reproduced and molded new super soldiers that are fighting these basic Terminators and stuff like that. This is all going on covertly, trying not to alarm the public. We're going to watch things in this world that they will disclose only the things that they want to disclose for everybody. It's going to be what is disclosed, but there's going to be probably 75-80% of it that they're just going to keep quiet, and it's going to be up to us to research and discover these things and these events for ourselves. Yeah, we have. There's many people out there that have. Um, you know, what do you call it? Mind thought that can think of things. They're video. What do you call it? You know, predictive video or predictive. Yeah. So they understand how things are being going to be laid out. They have this picture. They close their eyes and they see this picture of what's happening. Everybody's going to have that quality. Predictive programming. Thank you. Hey, Iba. Yes, we're going to have super strengths. Yeah. Is there a family? Is my family okay in the Philippines? Yes, they are. Yep. We don't have any earthquakes. I mean, I built that place down there very well. I believe and it's designed. It's a very simple 2-story, very very well built. So we should be fine. We haven't had any shakers in our area. I just told the family, it says, if it starts shaking down there, get your rubber shoes on, running shoes, and run out into the street. We're in a pretty safe area there. It's a very southern tip of Luzon. Yes, he's very special. He has special powers. Yep. Yeah, well, he's, what is he, 7 foot now? That's probably going to be normal height for a lot of people. Our growth has been stunted because of all the poisons and everything. We should all be 7.5, 8 feet high. All of us. But we're not. We should be the size of Palladians or the Pleiades. But we're not. We've been stunted over generations. We've been stunted because of you know what I'm talking about. The gators have been poisoning us. Is that how Earth loses gravity? I'm not sure. But I know there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of negative manipulation because of the moon. So when that gets, pushed out of the orbit, we're going to have all this new energy come in. And we're going to have, have regeneration of all our DNA. Yep. We've lost all our DNA strands. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you, Billy. Okay, I will put you in there. Like it says, it'd be nice if you had a picture of yourself. Yeah. Will our tides cease? Yes, they will. That's the trouble. The moon is manipulating a lot of stuff, and it mixes up. I mean, the whales and the sea life that's in there. That have the what do you call it? The frequency thing happening. They all have that already. Like the dolphins, they have sonar. And they get all mixed up because the moon is pushing whales onto the beach, and that's why you have all these pods of whales and dolphins and porpoises. Thousands of them come onto the beach and they beach themselves because it's the moon trying to manipulate them and basically messes them up. That's going to disappear. Cuba's already taken care of. Other than that earthquake going on in Venezuela, people were getting on with their life, as a free sovereign people. Yes, North America will include everything from Panama North, and maybe even parts of Venezuela and Cuba. It'll all be part of the Western Kingdom. Yeah, and of course, the Southern America. We're all. I mean, doesn't that make sense? I mean, what does they say? If you look at Canada, it says Americas, right? North America. We are North American. Okay? We're not Canadian. We're North American. They just twisted the names around and slapped a border, a magnificent invisible border right down the center of it on the 49th parallel. Well, who put that in there? Yeah, it's all messed up. It's all got to be unraveled. Yep. Thank you. How you doing on maintenance? Hey, Patsy, Nebbit. I haven't trusted the system for more than 17 years. Very well. Thank you very much for being awake. We need everybody to be awake on what the Matrix. And like I said, let me explain this again. All your ID is in the Matrix. You are playing in the Matrix right now. Everything's in capital letters for you. You know, they recognize you as a dead operator, and they bet against you, your birth certificate, everything else. If you want to break out of that matrix, first of all, you have to identify yourself as a sovereign man or woman. Okay, you identify that. Okay, you put your name in there. Like what I did is I put my name in as Alexander. Okay. I don't give them my middle name. I don't give them my last name. I don't give them anything. It's just Alexander. That's all of who I am. That's who I represent. Okay. Then I put my email in there, the one that I want them only to contact me through. You could say what country you're from. You put your picture in there like that there, and then get some cards made up. And you can laminate those cards and make them look beautiful. Give them some nice graphics up behind. You know, do whatever you want with them, and that's your new identity. So if, cops want to pull you over or whatever, sure, throw them the card. But if you get to court, you say, well, that's not me. You guys designed that for me. I'm not a straw man. I'm a living being. I'm a living man or a living woman. And they'll say, well, don't start with that stuff with me. Don't start with that bullshit. They're trying to fight back. Just hold your own. Hold your own. Just say, I don't really give a shit what you are, because you are a corporation and I'm a sovereign. We shouldn't even be talking. I shouldn't even be here. And that's how you get out of it. All these banks, you can take them to court. All the tax that you're being harassed by, you can take them to court. Because it's predatory. They're attacking you. They're attacking your money. They want your money. No, the moon is not organic. Yeah, it's been there for millions of years. Yeah. From Whiplash, 347 UCAP, USA, Australia, Pacific, Kingdom Leaders, USA. I'm not sure how this is all going to get divvied up, but I know that they have very powerful people, 47 included, Putin, Xi Jinping, all this stuff's going on there, and they're basically putting everything back into place as what it was before these reptiles took over. Yeah, that's what they're working on right now. Did we take over the cloning beds? Yes. Yeah. They're shutting them down. But there's a lot of them rogue, and they're on the loose right now. Yep. They're on the loose. If people are not turning to their own internal light, they will never understand. Yeah, so that's what I mean. That we have to, start talking to our heart. We have to start praying, to what we attract ourselves to. We got to get out of this negative attitude, and hate, and doing, I'm living in the combat zone, trying to help people out there, and I try to keep a positive towards them. But, there's a lot of druggies there, right? I'm not there to, fight with them. I'm just there to say, to try to plant some seeds in their brain to try to help them. But whatever little bit you can do, God sees that you're doing it, and, He knows that you're one of his children. No refund and no credit from filling the no refunds and no credit from filling they take all of it from me. I'm not sure what you're saying. So you're saying uh, your taxes and everything else. So don't worry about it. But just stop paying them. Um, you know, just stop paying. Stop capitulating to the matrix. I find it very easy to live in the world I live because I prepared myself some years ago for this, and I can fly back and forth. It's like what, $1,500 to do a return ticket out of Vancouver to Manila, to the Philippines, and I do that 2-3 times. I can do it maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. I have to work both places because I'm still a Canadian, right? I still am playing in the system because I'm a pensioner, and I'm trying to get back the money that the buggers owe me. I've given them millions, more than millions of dollars throughout my career, and I'm, my payback is for me to live healthy at the age of over 70 years old, and I hope to be 170 by time. And they're going to still have to pay me for everything that I have given up throughout my whole life. I want to get into the, life extension. I want to get into all that stuff. Yes, I want to be around because I know that there's going to be a fight to fight all these demons that are left here on this planet. We have got them on the run. Are they reprinting the criminals after removing the criminals? No, they're disappearing. That's why there's such places as El Salvador, the real bad ones, the MS-13, all of them, any ones with the dummies with the tattoos all over their face. Yeah, they're on their way to the YMCA down there. Any of the criminals and the executives, they're going after all the executives right now. We basically got them all cleaned out. And now we're basically doing mid-level shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really hot today. Yeah, I know, I get it. But you know what? Enjoy the sun, Shinebo. Enjoy the sun. Get out there, get a little bit of sweat happening. Get your rays in there. That's all food. That's food for your spirit. Yeah. That's good. You feel good. You feel strong. That's what we got to feel like. How you doing, Lena? Yep. There's all kinds of good foods, that you can eat. You bet. Yes, you can go to my Facebook and we can message each other. You've got questions or whatever happening there. I'm building my Facebook page. It's Alex West, ALEXX West. Okay. And I got a picture of me and my girl wearing we got sunglasses. Yeah, it wasn't the other one that I was thinking about. Yeah. Good morning from Missouri. How are you? Yeah. What will happen to those who have drug addiction? They're going to be cleaned up. They'll be taken into, a facility and into a med bed, and everything, all their metals will be, and poisons will be sucked out of them. And they'll be coming out of there like they're in a major hangover. Yeah. Yeah, but they will be cleaned up and they will have no urge to, well, of course there won't be any drugs left. No. So what will happen to the evil people? They're going to disappear. They cannot function in this high vibrating world that we're going into. And this is the separation that's going to happen. According to Ishmael, according to Trader Girl, there's a lot of them out there saying the same thing. And I tend to agree. the vibration as the ascension is higher and higher every day, and they can't deal with that, and that's why they're doing a lot of stupid things like offing themselves. They're doing self mutilation. They're doing jumping off bridges. They're doing all kinds of stupid stuff. Some are just falling over. The clones are just falling over. Yeah. A lot of them resort to drugs and stuff like that, and they don't make it, right? I don't know. That's... Yep. Any suggestions on how to get my 21-year-old boy to listen, believe? Well, your 21-year-old is... I have a same child. She's 21 as well. She doesn't contact me. What you got to do is, if he's still living at home, maybe throw him into the reality. If he's being combative, because it's your rules, it's your house, or if he's just a good boy and he's just not listening, then he's going to wake up on his own. Just say, I'm not going to push it. You're just going to have to wake up on your own. If you want to play in the Matrix, this is what it is. Did he get the jabberoonie? Because that's a big that's a big red flag. Because he's going to have to, anybody that's got the jabberoonie out there, it's going to be harder for them to get themselves cleaned up. Thank you. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for all this support. How you doing, Freedom? How's it going, Sheila? Please say this will not go till election. No, I don't think it will. I think there's a lot of things. I don't think there's going to be an election. I think they're just, I think Trump's going to ride off. He's going to be, more or less dealing with the World Financial District. He's going to be ambassador. I don't know. Call him whatever you want. I don't know. Should I claim exemption in the U.S.? Please explain that. Yeah. Hey, Glory 58. If he's a good person, he'll be okay anyways. Yes. I mean, kids are kids, and that they, some kids will wake up, other kids won't. But everybody's on their own path, and I wouldn't put a lot of energy in it. I really wouldn't. Just say, well, do whatever you want to do. That's what I'm doing with my kids. I have a 35-year-old down to an 8-year-old. I have a long spread of children, and you live your own life. I still have ownership over my boys that are 14 and 8. And like I said, if they cause any problem to mom after they're 18, I'll drop the hammer. But they're being raised good. They're there to respect mom, and and if they don't, they're troublemakers, cause me any trouble, then they know they're going to be dealing with me. No, I'm Canadian. Western Canada. Born and raised in Vancouver. Yeah, I got a lot of friends that are American, though. And I have friends over in the Philippines that are expats. They're American. Come really close friends out there. We go try to get to, I ride my motorcycle up to the other city, which is not that far away. And we go for a motorcycle ride, and they hit the mall, and we do coffees. We're on the same page. A lot of the older baby boomers, they're expats, ex-military from the Vietnam War, ended up staying in the Philippines. They collect their pension. I know one guy, Garrett, he was a pretty cool cat. He's like 7 years older than I am, and he did 2 tours there. Chopper pilot. He had got shot out of the sky twice. Crazy. He got some stories. Yeah, but he ended up he went back to the States. He was from California somewhere, He went back, and they were giving him a pension for $820 a month. That was his veteran's pension. And he says, piss on this. He says, I'm going back to the Philippines. So he did. And he ended up building a beautiful family and a house, and lived large. Getting 80, 90,000 pesos a month, paying no taxes because he's ex-vet. So he's able to stay there, right? The only time you can stay there in the Philippines is if you marry. You marry a Filipino or Filipina. Yeah. Let's band together, guys. Love and light. Absolutely. We have to put the positive frequency out there. The high vibes. How you doing, Gina? Yeah. That is the negative kryptonite. And when we put out high vibes and hug each other and arms, singing Kumbaya and enjoying life and being happy, absolutely destroys their initiative. It just destroys them. Yes. How you doing, wild man? Well, yeah. This is where the negatives come. I don't like to see negatives in my group. We're just here to send out positive stuff, right? How you doing, Gentle Storm? How you doing, Gina? Yeah. Hey, Curtis. Yeah. Well, anybody that doesn't like this podcast, then just go build your own podcast. I got no issues. How you doing, Fiona? Don't let fear affect you. Yes, they feed off the negativity. They sure do. And that's what we do not want to give them. They have enough addicts and alcoholics out there that they loosh off of, and then they try to clamp onto us. And we just, if you have negative in your world, you just tell the negatives to, F off, right? We don't want you in this. This is not your party. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be revealed. Good morning to you. Nice to see you. How's Heather doing? And how you doing, Magic? Yep. I'd like to stay on for more. I mean, I don't know, I've been on for almost 2 hours. Like, they're kind of letting me come on now and let me stay. So, hey, I'm retired and a lot of people are listening. So, I'm trying to, put my 2 cents worth in. Yeah. What about these immigrants committing all these crimes in Canada? Well, they're going to be shipped off. They're going to be, when the EBS, the JASAR, is implicated, then they will be notified that they will have money because, from where they were born. Okay, if they got Indian birth certificates or Japanese birth certificates or Filipino, they're all going to have to go home. Yeah, even the Filipinos. We got 2 million Filipinos in Canada working, doing slave jobs. Same with the Indians. Now the Indians are taking all the jobs from the Filipinos. I mean, it's just nuts. So it's a chaos that has been designed by the reptiles. And how we're going to straighten all this out, to explain it in my terms, is we're going to say each country that they come from, that's where your money is going to be coming from. Go home and you'll be able to receive a monthly income, okay, to do the things that you want to do in your own country. Yes, India is going to get cleaned up. Yes, Bangladesh is going to get cleaned up because they have money in these slush funds that has been taken from the parasites of this planet, the unelected banks. Just know they're not elites. They're not Illuminatis. They're not Masons or whatever you want to call them. They're parasites. That's all they are. filthy parasites, and all their bank accounts of everything has been frozen. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And it's being distributed into these other countries to rebuild their countries. That's what they signed on for. And if they didn't want to sign on for it, those dum-dums that were the leadership of that country were removed. Just exactly what 47 is doing now with Iran and with that little state in the next to Jordan. I'm just trying to paint a clear picture for everybody. I hope you're, hanging in there and staying with me on this, because it's important. How you doing, Mike Lee? And are we printing off the criminals after alienating them? I'm not sure what you're meaning there, but the criminals that are out there, if they're bad criminals, they're going to be shipped to Longbeard. Okay? They're going to be picked up and shipped to the YMCA. They're going to be dealt with. There's all kinds of different prisons around the world to house this stuff. Case in point, maybe all these data centers. They have fiber optics, and they're being built just like modern day prisons that are automated. You will not even see a guard in them. They'll be shipped through like sardines in a can, right? That's how it's going to work. Even the sun is not real. Yeah. Well, I'm going to put all that stuff on the shelf. That's all galactic stuff, Julia, and I love your input. I do. And keep bringing it on. But the thing is that what we have to do is let's just wait for this stuff to happen naturally. We have God and truth on our side. We have to, sit in our prayer. This thing that's going on with, Muslims saying, well, we're going to take over the world, and if you're not Muslim, you're not anybody, and, all this stuff is going to be all cleaned up. They're all going to have to go back to their respective countries. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. If you got any questions, I can try to explain the best I can. Yes, the sun purifies us. It's very, very healthy. Yes, thank you. Facebook, exactly how you spelled it there. Thank you, Wildlife. Hey, Jersey. Yeah. Erica, good to see you. Hey, Flash. Nicole, yeah, hi. When is this going to happen? It's happening right now. We are in the Great Awakening right now. Yeah. Alex West, 1776 is, that's not me. That's another scammer. They have got my name twisted all around. I've only got 2 sites here. I'm keeping it down very simple, right? That way they can't screw with you on all these different platforms, okay? I have here, which is QFS is free, Alex West. That's on TikTok, and I just do the lives on here. And when I got enough energy, if something pops up that's important, I will do a video either on this TikTok, or I'll go over to my Facebook, and you can contact me there. And what I usually do to prove that it is me, I will voicemail you back through the messenger. Okay, just to explain whatever I have to explain. Okay, then because you recognize my voice there, you'll recognize it through the messenger. That's how it works. Other than that, all of it, everything else is a lie, and they're trying to scam you. I quit eating meat because of the cruelty and bloodshed. I know. We are supposed to protect and abide within our God's law. I know, I understand that. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. And, there is other proteins out there, that we can go to. I know. Maybe we can have these replicators out there, right? That produce stuff like that there that give us a higher protein, more nutrition. Yeah, animals and all life, yeah. But, you have to understand that, Jesus God put everything on this planet, such as fish, to fish the oceans. He wants you to fish and eat fish and, other things that's going on there. Look in the Bible. I know the Bible's been written up it's been manipulated, but that's all getting straightened out right now. How you doing, Gina? Where can I see Trader Girl Q? She's on YouTube. Trader Girl Q. She's on YouTube. Just type it in. Yeah, she's just packed with wild action. Yeah. Yes, what is going to happen, folks, is you have to be prepared for a thriller. This is, and I'm not going to, and you might even see Michael Jackson come back singing Thriller, because that's what's going to happen. I heard on the 4th that we will get money. Could very possibly be. I know there's going to be some heavy... hey, listen, let's look at it this way. On the 4th of July, I'll guarantee you there's going to be some fireworks. Okay? Now, you can take that and use that any way you want to. But I know that 47 is going to light the candles. That's what I'm thinking. And what happens from that, I'm not sure. But let's we're very, very close now. Is that the door that needs to be kicked in to get through, to get us to the other side? I don't know. That's why we need to be collectively raise our own consciousness. Yes, exactly. And, the thing about that, Fiona, is that we all have to come together. That's why you're seeing many people that are throwing the keys back to the apartments or houses or anything. 64 million homes inside the United States that are in foreclosure. They're empty because people said, I can't afford them no more. Don't want to stay, don't want it, don't want the headache. And maybe got kicked out by the bank. But anyway, the bank holds 64 million homes inside the United States. Maybe, and rising every day. There is motorhomes, brand new motorhomes that they've got acres and acres and acres of it in central, the Midwest, that are selling. Everything's going to be sold for 10 cents on the dollar. And you're going to see real estate 10 cents on the dollar. This whole world is about to crash. Let me explain something. When you have, I've been through four recessions or 4 depressions, whatever you want to call them, okay? When you have a depression, it might go like this here, okay? This is inflation. Then it's inflation like that. Then it goes like that. And then it, bang, drops. And when it drops like that, that means it crashes, okay? But right now, most of those recessions were about from here to there, and then they crashed, okay? That was, 1980, 1996, 2007, so on and so forth, right? Now we're at the 226 now. Okay, this thing is like this now, and even beyond. This bubble has stretched that far, and we're starting to see the meltdown. When this thing crashes, it's going to make all these other recessions and depressions look like a freaking tea party. Okay, so what I am saying right now, you have to stop buying anything that's big ticket items. Stop. You can, if banks are offering you money, go ahead and take it. Doesn't matter. Sign whatever they want to sign because they aren't going to survive this. Okay. When this thing crashes, okay, I'm already witnessing everything going at 10%. Okay, selling at 10%. That's 10 cents. So if you've got a motorhome that's worth $200,000, okay, that motorhome is worth 200. That's what you're trying to sell it for. You'll be able to pick it up for 15 or 20 grand, brand new. They'll even have people that'll deliver it wherever you want in the States. That's what's coming inside Canada. Canada's always, they're the little brother. They don't get the kick in the ass until months later. But it's coming to Canada. And we're seeing it right now. When you have a Terminator, Okay, he's a Terminator. Carney is a Terminator. He comes in and he's terminating the financial system, and he's grabbing whatever assets that he can get his hands on, and then putting in and applying it into the United States. I don't see how he can get away with this, because I think he's going. He's also an actor, and he's playing a great part by convincing all the Canadians how much they want to hate him, right? But when this crash comes, that's why I say don't, and I've been telling my friends, they want to go out there and, get into some certain equipment and stuff like that right now. And I've said, don't do it. I says, start selling off whatever you've got that, right now, because it might be worth something, that you do not need. You might be able to sell it for, even 50%, 60%. It's still better than what it's going to be worth when you get to the other side. When this crash comes, your $10,000 truck's going to be worth $1,000. You see where I'm going with this? So do what you will with it. If you don't owe any money on it, then it's no big deal, right? I don't owe any money on any of my equipment. But like I said, do I need it? No. Can I sell it? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of where we're at right now with everything. So what we have to do is prepare for this, this meltdown that's going to make all these other, depressions look like a tea party, because that's what's coming. And, when we get to the other side, if we, get all this money that comes in through, revaluation of all these currencies, or if you've invested in some metals, all that's going to be revalued. I mean, even the metals right now is crashing. The oil's crashing. Everything in the world's crashing, right? And people got no money left. It's the whole world's ready to go, right? And it's only the ones that have prepared for this and have saved, back in, 10, 15 years ago by investing into metal, that will be able to sell their metal off to get themselves over the hump of this stagflation. It's called a stagflation. And, when we get to the other side, everything, all this inventory that's out there, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, will be out there on display, ready for you to go in and buy on 10%. So if you've got a house out there where it's $400 to half $500,000, you'll be able to pick it up for $50,000. Okay, so if you got a house out there, say somewhere in the Midwest or somewhere in Calgary, or Toronto or Vancouver or wherever you want to be, get ready. Get ready, because you'll have your cash in the bank that will be able to be on your QFS card. Ask them when you go in for your redemption center to give you 100 checks. Put in your name or whatever you're going to do. I myself would put it in a trust fund. Put some money, aside for your trust fund. You could put it whatever name you want it under your trust fund. So that's going to be you're only the executor of that. So you'll have them print that out, basically that those 100 checks that way. And if you want to go buy a house, you're going to be off, because the bank's going to, whatever bank or redemption center's left, they're just going to have a sign out front of that house saying for sale. You get a contact number, whatever, you phone that number, and you look at the house, they say, well, what was it before? They'll say it was worth 600, it was worth $1 million. I'll say, okay, I'll give you $50,000 for it. That's it. They either take it or don't take it. Or they'll come back with another offer. And that's how you get into this stuff for 10%. Because the market's going to be full. All these guys that are out there that are, in the Lower Mainland right now, that have homes and properties right now in the Lower Mainland, in the Abbotsford area, those homes back in the 80s were only $85,000. Most of those homes with a half acre on it. Okay, and there's lots of them throughout the Lower Mainland. Okay, out in the Abbotsford, Langley, Old Grove area, whatever. And all those homes now are worth $2 million. Well, ain't $2 million anymore. They're going to go back to 85,000. Okay, because it's all bubble stuff. That's how this thing's going to work. So start thinking about where you're going to buy, what you want to do. Yeah. You're very welcome. Yeah, thank you, Goddess. How you doing, Cheryl? Yeah. Who are the mid-level you're referring to regarding arrests? It'll be executive banksters, small-time criminals, small-time traffickers. That's all mid-level stuff. Corporate, head levels of maybe lower down from the CEOs of these smaller corporations. That's all mid-level stuff. They're all going down. School boards, like council boards that are trying to push, you know what they're trying to push, right? Yeah, everything's messed up, and they're going to be taken out for that. Okay, so he lives at home. There's no shot. Doesn't want any shots. Thank you, and that's good. So he's already halfway there. So he's kind of bounced. He doesn't want to be part of the matrix. So just let's let him do his own thing. He's only 21. He's still developing his brain. So just to say, just be, be your mother or be your father to him, and don't push him into or try to convince him about. He will be able to see it. Nobody's going to be able to miss this one. What's coming, and he will eventually come to you. And I believe, like I have 3 children out of my 6 children that don't talk to me. Haven't talked to me in years. Actually, 2 haven't talked to me in years. One just I haven't talked to her in about 8-9 months. They're just going off on their own. But when this thing hits, I believe they're going to, reconnect. I believe. If they don't, that's fine. I prepared myself a long time ago. No, there won't be any elections. How you doing, Monica Love? Darzar, how are you? There should be no tax. You can fight them. Stop paying it. Stop declaring it. Never took it. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks and thank you. Yeah. You can thank the Lord for that. Thank God for that, because He give you the intuition. Or any of those swab tests. Don't keep them away from you. I had to fight for. Well, I mean, everybody that was against all this, we had to fight our way through that, right? There was arguments and fighting everywhere. And I still wasn't too sure about what was going on. Yeah, my family all asleep. It's okay. Just love them. Exactly. Thank you, Mojo. Yeah, just love them. Can't force. You can't force anything into people's heads that when they got their ears closed up like that. They're not open-minded. They're not interested. So why waste your time? Yeah, just like raising a child. Yeah, consistent, positive, stay positive, and reinforce your views and values. Thank you very much. Yeah, just reinforce it with them. Just say, no, this is what I believe in. And as long as you're living under my house, you're going to follow my rules, because this is what I believe in. That's who I am as a father. As long as you're in my house, you're eating my food, you're living in my bed. That's my stuff. And I don't do it just because I love you. I do it because it's my responsibility. Until you're 18, and then hopefully you've got your shit together, and you can be out on your own. And I'll be there for support. But my kids had the support, they had the knowledge already, and they were gone, right? So good on them. And they started sending me messages by not even sending me a card at Christmas. And I said, fine, you just saved me a pile of money on presents. So, but my little ones, my 2 boys, they're very, they're very traditional, right? So they like all that stuff. So that's, why I'm in the Philippines. I will not bring them, if they want to travel. My little boy, he's into karate. He wants to go see Japan. I said, well, that's fine. You know, you're only 4 hour flight. How you doing, Randy? We are the black sheep. Yeah, we are the only awakened ones in this whole fiasco. You know, and we've been sodomized. We've been called all kinds of names except what we wanted. Yeah, Sindana, how are you? How are you? You're Scottish. That's good. I love the Scottish people. Yeah. Yeah, the EBS is certainly going to wake up a lot of people. Yeah. Anyway, to stop IRS from garnishing my check, take the IRS to court. Go make an application and take any of their bills that they're taking. And if they're garnishing your wages off your bank, pull your money out of the bank. I don't know how they're guaranteeing, or unless get any document you can and make application in the court. And as soon as you do that affidavit and it's been stamped by the courthouse, then you can take that copy and send it back to the tax department, whoever's doing it, and that will shut them down. They will not be able to guarantee until the court case has been listened to. Okay? I know it's not easy. I'm originally from BC, Vancouver Island, but grew up in Terrace, BC. Sounds like you're traveling on the same trails as I was. But I know living in Calgary, but now living in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah. Well, that's where the work is. That's what I did. When I first left the Lower Mainland, I went right to Terrace, BC myself. I was up in Terrace. I was working, opening up logging roads up there with the forestry crew, and got chased out of the bush by more bears you could think of. It wasn't easy because they never give you no guns. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on in those days. But then from there I went to I got out of that forestry business and went up to Yukon, because that's where my mother went to. So I wanted to kind of reconnect with her, and I ended up in the Keno Hill mines. Yeah, not the Amble mines, the Keno Hill mines. Look it up. Why hasn't the RV happened? Because we're still, this is a military operation, and they want to make sure that all the mid-level criminals are cleaned up, because those are the ones are the hackers that are trying to steal your money. They're still at that phase of cleaning them all up, and we're going to get these shit disturbers and all these other criminal hackers trying to steal your money. We're going to get them cleaned up. That way, when you do receive the money and all the money coming out, that you're not going to be a victim anymore. They will be watching. The military will be watching on what is going on, and all the money or cash that you're getting, that will all have a kind of a code, whatever type of printing on it, whatever. That's going to be able to be tracked. Your Q card or your Q phone, you have a Q card and Q phone, is inhackable. You're only going to be the only one being able to get into it based on your frequency. How you doing, Randy? Yeah, so many people are asleep. Yeah, you bet. Greetings from the Netherlands. How are you? Okay, gang, I got to run. Okay, I'll try to get on here tomorrow and we can do this all over again. Husky loves, yes, still a lot of work to be done, I know. Yep. Love you all. Take care. Do something kind to somebody today. Makes them feel good, and you too, right? Okay, do you think CERN shut down in a couple of days? CERN is shut down. And they're dealing with all the portals right now. Yep. We're cleaning up this world, yep. I have good days and bad days. I've been pretty stressed out. I don't know why people are so stressed out right now. Don't play in the Matrix, right? It's not, we're not a part of this stuff that's going on right now. Don't play into all the bullshit that's going on. Okay? It's all easy peasy. Okay,